Alright, here we have some America gameplay. Originally this was just going to be P47 gameplay, but I had a fairly good arcade game that I decided to share too, using the Mustang with the Hispano Mustang, so here we go. So, realistic battle with P47, German P47. Which I find we win this a lot, mostly because I'm fighting with a bunch of BF-109s and Falcon Wolves against Spitfires and pretty much all the American tree. So, typical P47, just climb to your heart's content. Continue to climb because you're only effective above 15,000 feet. Even in realistic battle, it seems like everybody stays below that. Have learned online that you could actually adjust mixture and radiator. I suggest not really adjusting it until you're, around 10,000 feet. But it definitely improves your climb and overall high altitude fighting ability. Alright, so at this point I want to check to see where the rest of my team is going. They're staying fairly low. And then of course check my smoke. Okay, so after more climbing, I decided I'm going to check to see where the Americans have climbed to. So far it looks like they're below me. The spotting system is really, I don't know, I got to figure out how to work it because I keep picking things out that I don't want to pick out. I actually don't necessarily want to fly towards the target either, so. Alright, I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. Because again, I'm climbing and circling the base, trying to make sure that I've got altitude advantage on everybody in the American team. Unfortunately, doing this, you miss a lot of the action, but it's kind of necessary with P47 because you can't climb worth a darn with it. Alright, so now I just continue to climb and check the situation. Again, seems like I still got altitude on most everybody, and so now it's just a determination of what my target's going to be. Initially I look at the Firefly thinking it might be somebody I want to go after, but I believe he dove down into the action. So you got to continually look around and just determine who's got altitude and try to stay above them so that you can dive down on them at speed. Unfortunately, I'm way too high for that guy, so there's so many of the enemy, there's no way I can help him out without sacrificing my own plane. So notice there's a couple climbing Spitfires, so they're probably going to be my most probable targets. Alright, I have to apologize. I have a little bit of hiccups this morning, so I'm going to try to not let that interfere with the commentary. Again, I'm not going for the Beaufighter, I'm going for the Spitfires that are climbing. Have one of my teammates doing head-ons with everybody. So I see Lethargic Man climbing, and obvious he's going to miss him and continue on down to the next Spitfire. So I've decided that Lethargic Man is going to be to go after. So I check my 6, make sure nobody else is coming up and climbing after me. Continue to look, make sure nobody's doing a zoom climb. He's just going straight. I think he's AFK. hate getting a kill this way, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Because if he came back, then he'd be a threat. So, I'll latch on, and here we go. Alright, of course I'm not paying attention, I'm trying to focus in on the kill, and I can't dive away. So I do hit him. Thank God the P-47's built like a freight train. And there we go. Have a kill for the flight. So now it's time to head back to the battlefield and reassess. Most of the American team's gone. Just to make sure, I check the scoreboard real quick. And yep, 2 American planes, and they really haven't done anything. And there's a swarm down there, so I'm going to try to join them. But I'm not going to be able to make it in time. So I just watched our team kill this guy in a swarm. And there's 1 plane left. And again, this guy's right in the middle of a swarm with my teammates. Having some trouble flying with a big old hole from ramming the Spitfire. And there he goes. So now I'm going to just spiral around trying to look for ground targets as the game winds down, because we basically shot down all the American planes. So that's pretty much the game, and pretty typical for this plane. You just spend so much time climbing and getting above the enemy, you kind of miss out on the action. However, if you think you're going to jump in the middle of the action with the rest of the planes, unless the team's coherent like that, you really don't have a chance. You become basically bait. So it's not a bad gameplay for a P-47. And that's pretty much what I do. So because I was so efficient, I got my talismans, which I never really use because I don't do arcade much anymore. Alright, and here I am showing off my new toy. Merry Christmas to me. Still haven't had a chance to fly it, just because it took me a while to get enough lines to get it. So eventually I'm going to play it also. Alright, so here we go into some arcade game. I decided I was going to take out the new, or my new, P-51 with the Hispano cannons and see how it would do. Another plane you have to climb and climb and climb, and the really only option is bobber hunting. And, you know, of course try to boom zoom, but it doesn't really retain that much energy. So, here it goes into the gameplay. Alright, pretty much typical for a tier 3 type battle. And as you can tell, I haven't really opened up much. Just checking to make sure I got the minimum fuel load. Bringing in the convergence a little bit. And here we go. Alright, so first thing I do is, you know, max throttle and side climb. And take a look at, make sure nobody's basically climbing higher than me again. Same sort of tactic as you would with the P-47. Because this plane is by no means a dogfighter. And also, it's not the best climber in the world. Matter of fact, it's pretty much like all the P-51s, just average at best. Alright, most everybody's going low, typical in arcade game. Of course, this game is basically bomb bases, so you want to take care of the bombers. So it's obvious these bombers are expecting everybody to go low and are going to stay high, so I obliged them and decided to go bomber hunting. Check below me, make sure nobody's zoom climbing again. And everybody's down there busy, so opens up a golden opportunity for me on these bombers. And I get a couple easy kills. Alright, now it's a decision. Do I go after the Hinkle or do I go after the Focke-Wulf 200? Honestly, it's kind of a draw, but I figured I could probably set the Focke-Wulf alight and it would be done, which is basically what happens. Continually watching as people spawn in. So yeah, I've got a lineup of bombers for me, so this is a good thing. And with the Hispano cannon, you just gotta touch the plane and you're gonna have flames. A couple hits, but you know that 7.7 fire isn't gonna do much. Alright, so I pick up on the welly for my next target. It's a good angle to shoot at, but I just really wasn't hitting him there. Now I kind of do a mistake here. I'm slow from the climb, and he's able to peg away at me. But I've latched onto him, so I'll go ahead and see if I can take him down. Alright, I'm taking slight damage to my fuel tanks and my engine. Alright, so I basically caught him a light too, so he's not going to be able to last long. Alright, now I am again assessing the battlefield, waiting for my cannon ammo to reload. And we got another bomber ahead of me, so might as well pick him up. And I figure I'll get there in about time for my ammo to be backloaded. Again, checking to make sure nobody's climbing up, and everybody's down there dogfighting, so might as well. I could have stayed up here bomber hunting the whole time, but fortunately the bombers get smart. An example is this bomber right here. I take a couple shots into him, nothing major, and of course in arcade he can dive to his heart's content and not do a wings rip. And he does a smart thing, he heads down to the battle with his team. So I decide, nope, not to follow him down. Alright, so check the battlefield yet again. And my plane's leaking like crazy here. Alright, now I decide, okay, the game is winding down, so I might as well get into the battle. And find a poor Spitfire coming across me. And effectively ripped his wing off. Alright, so I have another bomber heading up, but again, he gets smart and starts diving into the battle. I'm taking some superficial hits from the small caliber guns they have. He's definitely diving in towards his target, so I'm kind of in a hurry to get him shot down. Alright, taken. Did a smart thing. He put this smoke on, which is really a good way to hide himself. I had a hard time seeing him there. He still needs more, so I'm going to give him more. Nope. And he ducks it. Yeah, it was perfect. Right as soon as I got in convergence, he ducked. So all I can do is just peck away at him and run out of ammo. And now it's time to reassess the battle and wait for the cannons to reload. At this point, I decided I'm going to get in the thick of things. And there seems to be a line lining up behind my teammate, so I think I'm going to come in after him. Of course, at first I got to try this Soviet plane, coming in way too fast. And those planes are super tough. Now I've lost all my altitude. I still have some speed, so I figure I might as well just check out, see what's going on. Again, there's a train down there behind me. Climbing to try to get some altitude so I can use that to my advantage. And I see my teammate down there dogfighting, so I'm like, okay, I'll give him a hand. And it's perfect because basically you see the planes lining up behind him. It's looks like a good kill train. However, they foil that one. Have one plane turning off to the right. My teammate crashes, and I misjudged the turn rate on that Corsair. So he hits me, takes my wing off. Last ditch effort, and smack the heck out of him before I go down. Yeah, so totally misjudged the turn rate on that Corsair, so I learned from that. Alright, now I take out the P-63 Arakoba, which I'm still learning. One thing is that big old 37mm cannon up front, as you're going to see what it's useful for here in a second. Decide, okay, we've got to defend the base and just take a pop shot. And a single shell into the engine, and that's all she wrote. And looking to get into some more battle, but that's pretty much the end of the round. Alright, not too bad. 4 planes to my 1. And that's pretty much how you have to play the American tree. Up high and dive down, boom and zoom. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the skies.